mashing together the type of gameplay that you'd find in Rampage, along with Kaiju classic movies like Godzilla and King Kong. Gigapocalypse was a game that I thoroughly enjoyed playing the demo of during Steam Next Fest. The game's just come out in early access. It's about 33% complete, but the whole core mechanics are already there in the game. It's just adding all of the extra levels, kaijus and content that's coming later on down the line. So I feel like it's fair to be able to give this game a review straight out of the bag, because oh my, it's a blast to play. You pick from one of the kaiju that are available. There's 3 currently in the early access, there'll be 9 in the full game, but each one handles and plays very differently. Yes, they'll all walk forward on an autopilot, but the weapons that they have at hand for attack are very different and they play differently. You'll have 2 main attacks for each kaiju, triggered with either the left or right mouse buttons, or if you've got a controller, different buttons on there. And they basically come from your rage meter, which is in the bottom left hand side of the screen, as you can see. Every time you attack, it takes away from your rage, and your rage is replenished by causing more carnage around you. That's why it reminds me so much of Rampage. You need to decide how to use your attacks to cause the most amount of carnage to keep the rage pumping so that you can keep going forward, because if you kind of spiral out of control and you run out of rage, you have to wait for it to replenish, which means that you're open to much more damage, essentially, as you go through the game. The HP next to it constantly goes down as you're being attacked over time, but you can get that replenished through several different things. Some buildings will contain like meat and ice creams and donuts for it to replenish, but you can also unlock different special attacks and pets, which I'll come on to later, that can also replenish your health as you go. Levels are 2D, you'll just keep on walking forward, smashing up the city and the Wild West, which are the 2 areas that you've got currently in the game. The story involves you basically being sucked for a time warp back in time, so each level has a different time period and theme, and each one has an inventive and quirky boss. I really love the first level one. It's a math bot that throws you maths questions in the middle of the battle, and I was like, what? It did make me laugh. Aside from those 2 attacks, you'll be levelling up your kaiju as you go. And in doing so, you'll, in this like little mini Tamagotchi side game in the menu, which I thought was quite cute, because your kaiju gets reduced back to being a baby when it gets sucked through like the tutorial level at the end with the time portal. You have to feed it, you have to clear up its poo, but what you'll also be doing is levelling your kaiju up and getting back all of the different extra bonuses that you had before. Both of your main attacks are level upable, so's your armour, so's your HP, so's any reflective, like if someone's chucking missiles at you, you can reflect them back. But you've also got 5 extra bonus attacks that you can unlock as you level up your characters too. So don't think of this as just spamming attacks. It's also about choosing when your specials are launched as well. These are vastly different for each kaiju. Some of them are like laser beams. Some of them might, with Gorath the dinosaur, he can suck up the enemies, any humans that are on the screen, and that can replenish his HP. They've all got timer cooldowns as well. So as you kind of level up these special abilities, which you do when you get extra points when you level up the character itself, you can basically make them more impactful, but you'll still have that cooldown there for you. With that, plus all of your main attacks being upgradable and your character itself, there's a little bit potential for a grind here, but because the game has decent sized levels, and so long as you aren't playing terribly, you're going to get quite far before you die. You only really need to grind a few times, but each time you go through, it feels noticeably like you've powered up and you get much further. I wouldn't necessarily call this a roguelite, but it borrows from those traits and brings it across into a simple action arcade experience that's just fun and rewarding to see and play. Outside of that as well, you have access to pets. These are found as you kind of wander through the levels at random, with alongside like different pickups that you can get, some of which freeze the land, some of which send out missiles, some of which double your damage or give you a shield. but one of them is an egg, and when the egg hatches, it will have a pet. The pets, there's quite a few of them, all have different effects, and you can unlock slots to bring pets along with you. So not only do you have your main kaiju, you've got like little mini monsters running around beside you, little posse, so to speak. And I found that quite fun and strategic as well, because they've all got different abilities. Some of them increase your damage, your armour, your HP. Some of it will actually have attacks themselves. They might be able to kind of poison things over time, for example. It's up to you how your loadout is put in, and again, you can level up those as well. The last thing that you can also level up are slots for costumes or skins, I guess, for your kaiju, and that puts a little permutation on them as well. Gotta love Catzilla, which allows you to revive your kaiju if it dies back at 60% health, because you know cats have extra lives compared to everything else. I have to say the game is an absolute blast to play. It gives you plenty of good feedback. The music is suitably 80s arcade retro B-movie fun. They've just nailed the aesthetic down of if Rampage was a 2D fighter in a nutshell. I absolutely love it. The game itself currently is in early access. I've played it for several hours and I'm still leveling up the characters. They all play and handle differently, and so long as that continues, I see nothing but being able to highly recommend this game going forward. The full game itself will have 6 different areas. Currently there's 2 available in the game. 9 different kaiju. There's 3 currently available in the game. I don't know of anything else that will be coming out as an extra, but the game plays beautifully, the core mechanics are down, and it's 2 very hearty thumbs up from me. If you want a time waster game that gives you plenty of feedback, lots of fun, power, and rah, the baddies winning, Gigapocalypse is certainly for you. A written review will be over on higherplanegames.com. I adore this. Thumbs up, my kind of game. Bye for now. Higher Plane Games is part of the Higher Plane Network, a completely independent media outlet supported by people like you. The goal is to create the best possible content that cultivates a richer indie scene for games as well as music and entertainment. To find out more and to get involved, visit patreon.com/higherplane network. Your support makes all the difference, and in return you'll gain access to bonus content and downloads. Thank you for watching.